Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. Before we get into why everything is stupid in our weekly wrap-up with Jim Nels, I have my own submission to enter for his recap list. I hope he doesn't mind. And it comes courtesy of the guy who literally wrote the book on animal liberation now, Peter Singer. What does he mean by animal liberation, and what does he want them liberated for? Well, I think he answers that question quite clearly by calling zoophilia something thought-provoking to ponder and to openly discuss. And what he wants us to ponder is the horrific and traumatizing assertion that there may be some acceptable forms of sexual contact between humans and animals. He then cites a new article on it published to the Journal of Controversial Ideas. Controversial ideas, you don't say. Though controversial's a pretty milquetoast descriptor for this whopper. I'm honestly so disgusted that I'm at a loss for words. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that all those videos of puppy play and furries inside our woke military and who are strutting their tails and muzzles all over gay pride parades every June for kids are perhaps somehow even worse than we first thought. Imagine that. How long until they add a Z for zoophilia to the LGBTQIA+ acronym right behind P for pedophile? After all, no sexual desire is too perverted or taboo for these types, so you just wait. At least in good news, something that isn't stupid is the fact that the stupid feminist publication Jezebel is finally shutting down after 16 years and is firing its staff. Yay! Brittany Martin is the founder of the rival Evie magazine, which is a wonderful, wholesome alternative to the disgusting drivel of rags like Jezebel or BuzzFeed mock the initial investors meeting that birthed Jezebel in the first place. She joked, "Someone somewhere thought, hey, you know who's a great idol for women? Jezebel. She was an Old Testament WHORE who manipulated a king and nation into worshiping the demon Baal, and then was thrown out of a tower by eunuchs, trampled to death by horses, and eaten by wild dogs. Let's name our publication after her." So with role models like that, no wonder the left is now openly exploring pedophilia and zoophilia. Lord help us all. In times like this, we need prayer, a stiff drink, and some humor to get through it all. Here to help us do that with his Everything is Stupid weekly wrap-up is author and supply chain consultant Jim Nels. Jim, thanks for being here tonight. What do you have for us this Friday?
Hey, Kara, it's great to see you. You know, that story about zoophilia really gives a new definition to the term petting zoo, but I digress. Greetings from the People's Republic of Chicago, where carjackings are so common, they've replaced football as the #1 spectator sport. I'm sorry I didn't make it into the studio this week. Old Mayor Pete let me down once again, but we'll have more on him later. Also, I'd like to wish my mom, who watches you every single night, a very happy belated birthday. She's 76 years young and still rocking that bikini on the beach. Kara, it's been another crazy, stupid week. We do have a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. The 5 leading Republican presidential candidates, well, those running to finish a distant second to President Trump, held their 3rd debate on Wednesday. Businessman Vivek Ramaswamy came out swinging for the fences, speaking the language of MAGA and personally attacking and calling for the resignation of RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel for the Republicans' extremely poor showing in Tuesday's off-cycle elections. Breaking a long-held gentleman's agreement not to attack the RNC, he referred to the GOP as the party of losers and said there is a cancer in the establishment. He then blasted her for having the debate on NBC and for the choice of moderators, stating that the debate should have been moderated by Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. I was actually surprised we left off that list. Last, he hilariously claimed that the DNC would never hire my good friend Greg Gutfeld to moderate a Democratic debate. Sadly, he then went on to build a gallows, put his head into the noose, and commit political suicide live on stage by attacking Nikki Haley's 25-year-old daughter for the use of TikTok. Haley simply replied, "You're just scum." Meanwhile, the rest of the candidates, or the Keebler L's, as my other good friend Steve Bannon likes to call them, showed their true colors and why they are not ready for prime time. Senator Tim Scott, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and Ambassador Nikki Haley worked to outdo one another with how much taxpayer money they could spend in order to get America into World War III as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Governor Chris Christie simply looked like he wanted to leave the debate stage and get to the nearest old country buffet. President Trump did not attend the debate, opting instead to host a rally in the Sunshine State just 30 minutes away from the debate stage. Trump stated that the debates were boring and that he'd rather take his message straight to the people.